वापस आया देखो कौन 8 साल बाद देखो किया मैंने phone on. Confidence is back and consistency is going on. Persistence is key. Clearly I can see the dawn. My daddy be the coolest, but I am not the best son. किसी को गिराता ना मैं नीचे तो दिखाता ना मैं. सबक है ये मेरा बेटा तुझको सिखाता ना मैं. अपने को समझ लूँ बस इतना सा तो चाहता था मैं. घूम फिर के वापस आकर रैप तो बेटा करना ही था. घूम लिया संसार जो अब रैप तो बेटा करना ही था. मैं बोलूँगा आज पर गोट तो मुझे बनना ही था. छोटी सी ये जिंदगी इसी में कुछ करना चाहता. जीतना चाहता दौड़ना चाहता. गिर पड़ के फिर उठना चाहता. सस्ता सा ये खाना खाता और महंगा सा मैं सीन बनाता.
Hey, what's happening you all? Welcome to episode 19th of the Jazznation Community. It's me Arpit back again with one more power-packed episode, my friends. So, as you all know, I am a big fan of rap music. So I was thinking I should get someone on board from US because that is where rap music started back in the 70s. So I thought, yeah, let's just, reach out to someone who has been a part of the music industry in the US where it all started. So I tried to reach out to Chaz, who is a dear friend of mine who has been part of the music industry in Washington DC for a long time. His brother is actually a rapper and a hip-hop artist by the name of Young Sir. So you should go check him out. He has performed with 2 Chainz, he has performed with Jay-Z and a lot of other big rappers. So yeah, just go check out Young Sir. So coming back to our guest, Elle, who is an entrepreneur. He's also a consultant. He is an artist manager and a real estate guy. Lot of different businesses that he is a part of. So yeah, I hope you will like this episode. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So just sit back, relax and enjoy this episode with Mr. Elle.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And you started your YouTube way back, like 7-8 years back.
Yes, man. It's been a wild journey. It's been a journey. So this year, I'm gonna do another season. But each season, I try to add a new element to it. If you've probably seen, it started from something, then it's completely another space now. So now I'm dealing with mental health. I never thought I would be. But a lot of my subject matter becoming about mental health now.
How did that come to you, mental health?
Yeah, just talking with a lot of different entrepreneurs, you find out that it's a mental barrier before we get to the next level. We all have a mental blockage that we got to fight through.
Yeah.
Talking with so many people, that's becoming a common theme in the conversation.
I've been talking to a lot of young people and they speak about mental health. But when I speak to say 60, 70 years old people, they say dude, what are you so worried about?
Right.
I'm like,
right. They feel
life is simple. Life is simple. Just leave it like that. What's this? What's that? So one of the things that I heard on a podcast somewhere, there's this lady by the name of Sudha. She's from India only. And she said, lot of young people, why they face the mental health issues. I mean, that's her personal opinion, but it kind of resonated with me. She said ki our generation has got almost everything, we don't have to face any issues. And so if you have this kind of luxury and if you're brought up with this luxury and if you don't have any problems, so humans have this tendency of actually creating a problem if you don't have a problem.
Right. I mean, because it's really about the mindset, right? So we all have seen or been through something that you can label as a mental health issue, but it's how you overcome, So even with success, it's trials. You have trials with success as well, but it's how I deal with it it's what's going to determine how mentally sick, if you would, one has become. So you may be going through something, but you know how to push through it. So it's not a big issue to you because you're not letting it stop you. So it's it's the mindset, and it's different people, resonates differently.
Exactly. So like, what do you suggest? Like, if there's a guy who's starting out, who's an entrepreneur, and he says, I have a lot of anxiety issues, but I'm really passionate about going on stage, talking to people. I want to speak in front of people. So like, what do you like say to that person?
I tell him, I had someone told me that before when I was on one of my shows. He was in the audience. So what you do is you tell him, man. I told him just do it, but try get that the fear of what other people's opinions may be. Start off small. I'll tell anybody who wants to speak in front of the crowd, start off small. Get 5 to 10 of your friends and family in a room or a space, and you can do a presentation in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So
that kind of becomes very fake, no? If you're getting your friends
it becomes fake, but to a degree, right? So if the person actually does it, they don't realize how much of the nervousness they can actually get off their chest or their shoulders. Even though your family members and friends are a little biased, but you still can feel it. You have that embarrassment because they know you so well, right? So you can't really fake the information that you present to them.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Makes sense. So it's kind of like a muscle that you develop, and
you gotta develop the muscle. You have to, because as you know, when we do these shows and things of that nature, we'll get feedback and comments, but you can get so many people that's negative, and if you focus on the negative, it could break you.
Exactly, right? So, and internet is full of these negative people.
The internet, I always say, is undefeated. You can't look at that.
You post something positive, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what's keeping you so positive?"
You gotta move forward through it though. So I told someone to do that, but they did it, and now they're going on and doing their own podcast and teaching. You know what I'm saying, in their field. So you just got to get out in front and do it, and kind of ignore what people's opinions are, right?
Exactly. Because also that's not in your control what people are going to think about, right? They are going to think what they have to think, and if you are going to think on their behalf, what are they going to think about, right?
Right. Yeah.
So Chaz, like, what's your day like? What do you do? Like, what does your work look like? What does your life look like?
All right, man. So me and my wife, we have a 3-year-old son.
I saw the photograph. Beautiful.
Yeah. So I wake up in the morning. I deal with him on the first half of the day while she does work. We both work from home. We're entrepreneurs. We have multiple businesses. So she does work in the daytime usually. Yeah. And then in the evening, when they're kind of settled down, this is when I come alive. So I'm a night owl. So every day we try to write and plan out what we have to achieve. So like, for example, I may wake up tomorrow and say, I need to get some real estate stuff done. I need to get some things done on the merchandise part. So you try to balance out, because we have so many different streams. You try to balance out and plan what items you want to work on day by day. And every day is a work day for us because entrepreneurs. So you get out what you put in. So every day but it don't feel like work. Actually, it don't feel like work no more.
Tell me more about it. What you said, different streams. So like, you work with real estate and you work with the Face company. I read about it. Really nice.
So we got Face the agency. That's a training and consulting company where we work with different companies or organizations and training their employees and putting down a curriculum, if you would, on how to for companies can level up or scale up their business. That's on that end. We do real estate. We do, wholesaling, buy and hold. So we get properties and we flip them.
Do you buy these properties and then sell them?
Yeah, we'll buy the property and then we'll flip it. We'll put money in and flip it. Or I may just wholesale it. You know, I have a property in Memphis, Tennessee right now that I got for a real low price.
Yeah.
All my job is to do is network that property and bring in bigger investors who want to do something with it, and I just take money on the back end.
Nice.
That's real estate. I have merchandise. So Honore is the clothing brand. And we're just fine tuning that and trying to get that to market that to the masses. What else?
How do you sell that? Do you sell that online?
Yeah, online. Yep, online. So you see in my links, I have the website there. Anybody who who wants to have who is honorable, that's who we target. After that, man, I got Rap About Radio, as you see, Rap About TV.
Yes.
I'm working with
lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff on Rap About.
Yeah. So I'm about to partner with a couple of people now for the next season. So I was just on a call last night to kind of build that, get that even bigger. Man, what else? Man, so many things. We got some and other companies that we don't put our face on, right? So through this pandemic, we learned more about, marketing and advertising, because every business, even the business, the podcast game, we're marketers. We just got to get our face out in front of the masses. So
exactly.
So we've been doing a lot of studying in that, and
you're learning about online marketing and how to go about advertising on platforms like Facebook, Instagram. Yeah.
Like Facebook, I would tell anybody, man, really look into Facebook marketing, because it's been working for us. Right? Yeah. So
your real estate business, you're saying?
Real estate business, but again, it's product businesses we have too. Like for one, it's called Birds Paradise. Our face is not on there, but we're behind it on the Facebook ads, and that's turning in cash flow. So I would tell anybody to look into just having product, because product is key. Have product.
Yeah. So like you were telling me about Corona, how has that affected what you're doing? How has that affected your life? And
it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing, man. Me and the wife, we're inside, and we've been doing so much studying, buying courses and research, and applying all that knowledge into what we got going on here. It's been a blessing. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. Because I thought you were going to say, dude, like so many people have suffered so much in the US, because I saw that in the news that US has suffered the most because of this pandemic. So,
I mean, yeah. And now in the US, man, the US is wild, man. People have been suffering now, but it goes back to what I said earlier, mindset, right?
Yeah.
So, if you have the mindset of, doing for self and not looking for handouts, then the pandemic has been a blessing to you, because you get so much isolation time, the distractions are not there. You tell the world, leave me alone, and you're easy to zone out and have tunnel vision.
For sure,
I have seen and talked to a number of folks who have let it it touched them in ways, and they're going through things, at home, and their marriage is not doing so well, and they're having a hard time figuring out what they want to do in life. So if you wasn't prepared,
is it because they have lost their job that they were working in, or what's the reason for this?
A lot of folks lost their jobs, right? So even so, before the pandemic, your goal is you're trying to tell your community, to have something in place to do for yourself. And I'm big on doing for self. What can you do outside of whatever the government can provide for you? What gift or talent do you have that you can monetize yourself? And and a lot of folks in the US especially had to face that hard reality that they didn't have anything set in place for themselves.
Exactly. I was listening to this guy, Naval Ravikant, if you might have heard about him. He's the guy from Silicon Valley. So you're saying this thing that, people who are, stuck in their jobs are eventually going to suffer these things because of Corona. And eventually you have to figure out something for yourself, Yeah. So when you say like work for yourself, can you elaborate a little more? What exactly is that?
So when I say work for yourself, I say, because I just finished the audio book, right?
Yeah.
I just completed the audio book, and I'll be touching on a lot of these things. But when I
Mm-hmm.
say working for self is, I tell, especially when I work with different clients, I tell them to tap into whatever their gift or talent is. So some people, like all right, for example, I had a conversation one time with a young brother, and he was in the streets, you know, crime and things of that nature. But he was telling me he loves to write. He want to get out the streets, but he said he loves to write. And I told him, man, compile all your poems and things you like to write and package it and give it to the world. And he never thought of that, right? So my thing is, like, for example, yourself, you have this podcast and you have a talent to connect with different individuals and you're putting it to use. So how come your neighbor can't do the same? Find whatever they love or have passion for and put it to use, right?
Because I have loved attention since childhood, bro. To tell you the truth.
What happened?
I'm saying I've loved getting attention from people since childhood. So I love to see myself on the camera.
You're right. But you know, individuals all have a different quality about themselves that they can put out for the world can benefit from. Yeah. So I'm really big on someone to hone in on whatever that gift or talent is and nurture that, right? And once you nurture it, you'll find that you have a following or people that has similar to you, right? And that be your audience or your clients or, you know, your revenue stream. So that's what I mean. Do work for self or do for self. It's really tapping into whatever you're gifted with and actually presenting it. Yeah.
So like this guy who's actually writing poems and so you must have told him to actually make music with it and make rap music.
Yeah. He said he liked to write poetry one day. So we was out. It was on a Sunday, and I go to the mosque. I'm a Muslim, and outside the mosque again, he was telling me how he really want to get out the streets. And he said only thing he could think about he loved to do is to write. If he's not in the streets, he does poetry. I told him, man, compile your poetry, and you'll be surprised who may want to buy it. You know, just put it out there and sell it. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's different levels when you start getting into your marketing and things of that nature. But on the basic level,
it's a different ball game altogether, right?
Yeah, it's a different ball game. But on the basic level, just do it. Just start and doing it, and then you'll notice one person, two people come in the door, interested in whatever you have, and it grows from there.
Yeah, and also like have different sources of income. Do you suggest that as well?
I mean, I would ultimately suggest that. You know, I'm big on having multiple streams of income, but for the beginners, just start in having one. Just go in with whatever your talent is and start with that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like when I did Rap About TV, or even before Rap About TV, I managed a hip hop artist, and through working with him, opportunities open up, right?
Yeah.
So after that, after working with him, I come up with Rap About TV. I'm like, I have so many contacts in the industry and whatnot. Why can't I have a sit down and have conversations with these guys? I did that, and then now through that, opportunities opened up for me to bring on clients that like what I was doing and say, oh, can you help me, or can you coach me, or can you mentor me? So you just start, and then after you just start, you'd be surprised how many different doors open up for you.
So when you said you have contacts in the industry, you meant music industry, right?
Yeah,
so you help connect these new guys with the people who are there in the industry already.
Yeah. When I was managing my artists, you meet different executives, different people through traveling. And when I came up with the idea of Rap About TV, I'm in DC area actually, right?
Yeah.
It was so much talent in the DC area, but the music scene hasn't embraced it yet. So I just thought of something to kind of create a platform for the different talent that I saw, and that's how that took off.
Yeah, even I am a big fan of rap music, but then I haven't heard like someone coming out of DC. I've heard Atlanta guys and New York has a good scene.
Because it's new to us, right? The music scene here has their own culture. It's just a band type thing. You ever heard live instrumentation? That's what DC is, go-go music. So far as hip hop go, it's new, but there's a lot of talent here that hasn't been able to, been put out there. So I just wanted to bring a platform for them. Yeah. And even beyond hip hop, man, beyond hip hop, there's so much talent, like artists of painting and graffiti artists or managers, podcast hosts, so many different talents. And I like to kind of give them a platform to kind of get to the people.
Who's your favorite music artist?
Right now? Oh, yeah. Man. Oh man, I'm an old school guy. So Nas, I'm a big Nas fan.
Big fan, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Nas fan. Of course, I like Rick Ross. I don't know if you know Currency, the hot spitter. I like him a lot. I try to listen to a lot of artists because I have that gene in me. I have an ear for it. So I kind of listen to the up and coming ones too, just to kind of hear their story.
Do you make music yourself?
I can't. I'm not a rapper, right? But my audiobook has music in it. My audiobook has music in it because I come from music, so my audiobook has a twist to it. I don't think.
I used to write rap back in school, but later I started to produce music, make beats. Now I teach students how to make beats and all. But then, I thought rap is not my game, dude. I'm not really good at it.
I knew you like music though, because I seen some of your guests was a lot of in the music industry.
Yeah.
So he loves music. Yep.
For
so
sure,
but I love music, and again, I did incorporate hip hop in my audiobook, so it's unique in that way.
Even the guys like Nas and guys like from Mass Appeal, they have collaborated with rappers from India. If you might have heard about Divine.
So what is the music scene? What is the music scene out there? Like, what is that like?
For the hip hop, it's crazy, man. Like everyone in the, like, you would see like a guy in every neighborhood rapping. I just step out of my house, I see some guys, gang up together, showing each other, like, see my rap, dude, I wrote this. I'm like, if you need some help with the music, I'm there. You can talk to me about it. So it's pretty chill. It's building up. There are only like few artists who are actually able to monetize this skill. Like only the top 10 guys in the whole scene. Gotcha. But it's slowly building up. It's almost like what you're saying for the DC. It's slowly building up, right?
All right, that's interesting. Now after this, I am gonna, and this is good that we're having this, because now you kind of open me up to a whole world I never knew about. So after this, I definitely want to kind of check out the talent you guys have over there, and even more so, like, stay in contact with you, but build the network so, we can go from, international with it. So you have a contact over here in the U.S. and I have a contact over there. So that I like this.
Yeah. So when you say you manage artists, what do you do exactly? Do you like help them record their music, release it also? Like, what's the management part?
I used to manage. I don't want to manage.
I tried that for a year. I gave up. I'm like, dude.
I don't want to manage no more. But I do A&R. I still A&R artists. So artists will send me music that they've done, and I'll listen to it, give it my 2 cents. And if it's a project, I'll synchronize their music for them. So I was always the guy who used to synchronize the artist's music, create his track list, create his cover art, and kind of just organize his music so when it came out, the listener can have a smooth listen. So that's what I am doing now as far as music scene is A&R. But managing,
it's like a 24/7 thing that you have to do, and artists are like children, man.
Yes, they are, because you have to be selfless. Managers are a selfless job, right?
Exactly.
The artist's life,
and a thankless one too.
Right. Yeah. So, and the crazy thing is, everything's your fault, So it's like you said, it's like having children, and I got one now. I'm good on managing artists. I don't want that no more.
So I see, Chaz, that you're a very motivated and you're very inspired as a person. So like, where does it come from? Does it come from your childhood, from your parents? Like, what's this approach? How did you?
Oh yeah, I'll say my mom, single mom, growing up, watching her. She was she was in her community. She liked to help her community, and that's where I get mine from. At the end of the day, I'm a spiritual person, right?
Yeah.
So it's really becoming about, after being in the game, in the industry, and that fast life, it's really become about, what do God want, right? And I don't want to, when it's my time to transition, I don't want to be on the bad side of God, right? If that makes sense. I don't want to be on his bad side when I transition from here. So my thing is doing what I can here to help his people, help his world. That's what I'm here for at this point. Because like I said, I don't want to be on his bad side when I leave here. So I'm motivating kind of help others, you know what I'm saying? Help others, of course. And especially in the Black community, I really want to help us, because we're last, and we're hurting in so many areas. I gotta help us. I gotta see us come up. I have to see us come up.
Tell me more about this Black community thing that you were saying. What exactly happens there? I have heard stories. I heard about Black Lives Matter protest happened, and yeah, I know about what has happened before. But what is that? How is that affecting the Black community now? Like,
so how's Black Lives Matter affecting the Black community, or
no, like the system in general? How is that affecting the Black?
It's almost like, man, it's almost like, how do I say this? All right. Okay, it's almost like this is a hypothetical, right? Say we're in the jungle, and a pack of wolves took a cub lion. Say, for example, you grew up with a pack of wolves, and you don't know that you're not a wolf, or you don't know that you've been kidnapped, right? Yeah. It's almost like that, trying to get to your community, that they don't even realize that we're still at war, right? We just came out of slavery not too long ago, so I don't think, the mindset or the hearts of white supremacy changed any, right?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But you still have individuals who don't realize that they're in the middle of a war right now, and that's where my fight is, or our fight is becoming, is trying to get the mindset of those to understand. Listen, we do have a natural enemy, and we are at war still. We still don't know. We still don't know who we are, right? You know what I'm saying? So, the goal is to kind of get us on one accord, so the world can respect us, right? Because you look across the world, they don't respect us, and I understand why, but we don't have respect for ourselves. So the goal is to get us to be in line with a one mindset, to get self-respect, have self-love, so that we can have that across the world. Because when I was traveling, and I'll talk to natives in different countries, and the common thing they would ask, what's going on with y'all in America, right? So I'm learning that the world is watching for us to kind of stand up and become, strong Black men and women, and kind of take ownership of our lives. And that's where I think the fight is at right now. I think and what's holding us back is a lot of us don't even know that we're at war, or that we've been kidnapped. And that's the issue, right? So.
And that results in like this Black community, like Black people not getting proper jobs and stuff of that.
I mean, even that's true. We're not getting that, but even outside of that, that's why I'm big on do for self, right? I don't expect them to give us a job. I don't expect them to do for us.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing. Like, I mean, this pandemic showed that, it's almost every man for themselves, or every, you know what I'm saying? So when the pandemic hit, every different community in America was looking out for themselves. You had, the Asian community looking out for themselves, the Jewish community looking out for themselves, the white community doing for themselves. We're not, and that's an issue with me. We need to kind of do better with pulling our resources, going to our neighbor and helping each other get up, and I think that we're on that track now. It's happening, like universally is happening now.
Yeah.
But I just want to be a part of that, and getting us in the right direction.
Who do you look up to? Who inspires you?
Honestly, man, the Minister Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister
Who?
Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more about him. What he does exactly and how his.
You ever heard of Malcolm X?
Yes, I have. So
it's on that line. So Minister Farrakhan, man, has been in the. I've watched even from behind the scenes him, stand up for Black people all over the world. I've watched him, get crucified, being called anti-Semite, being called this and that, just for standing up and having a voice for us. I've seen him take drug addicts off the streets and kind of change their lives for the better. So I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? So, he's someone I really look up to outside of my moms and stuff like that. He's someone I look up to because I've personally seen him take, people that was, considered a nobody in society and change their lives around, and they're stand-up individuals now. So that's a miracle to me.
how do you do that on a personal level? How do you try to help out the community, the people around you?
Like similar what you're doing now, man, just kind of, spreading the knowledge or experience that I have around, right? I know one of the biggest things that God doesn't like is if you have information or some type of knowledge and you keep it all to yourself. That's not good.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I feel like I have experience in knowledge and different things in my life that I just have to share now. I have to, pull the next man up or open the door for the youth come through, So that's what I'm doing now. I'm creating different opportunities, different platforms, and different things for the next person or the next child to come behind me and be the resource or come through the door.
Like you told me about the way that you're trying to help the artists, the music artists. So the same way you want to help the organizations also to get better in how they go about stuff. I feel you, man.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Even when, helping, different organizations, the goal is to take that information I learned from helping a company, right? How do I put that in my community? How do I help, the poor kind of, change their mindset and put things in place that I see other groups doing, right?
Does that happen? Like if there's a poor person, can you help them change their mindset? Because I feel the literacy is not a problem. People can read and write over there, right? 100% of people can read and write.
Literacy not a problem. Like you said, it's mindset. That's at the end of the day, that's all it boils down to is if the person's going to tell themselves to get up or not, right? So, a lot of us, they poor, but it's not because they poor, they don't have no money. It's because they poor mentally, right?
Yeah.
As a whole, the Black community has money. You know what I'm saying? If we were smart enough to put our money together, we'll be like one of the 8th largest nation in the world, or something of that nature. But we don't have the mindset to spend with each other, to put our money back in our own communities and build each other up. So that's mindset, right? So the goal is to get with like-minded individuals and to create opportunities or resources so that ones who don't know how can learn and begin to understand how to, get with their neighbor and put their money together and create different, streams of revenues. It's just so much. It's so much, right?
Yeah. So, what were the early days like when you started out?
Man, early days, man, it was interesting. It was fun though, because you didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So in the early days, man, you just young and you hungry and you just going after whatever you think you know. And honestly, to me, it was just a fun experience and a fun
Did you
time.
always want to be an entrepreneur, or did you want to did you do any specialization, or you want to have a job later?
Honestly, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what the word was back then.
Same here, bro.
But growing up, like I said, watching my mom, she always taught, do for self. So even though she had a job, she always had a side business. And she always taught us to have things that for ourselves and things of that nature. So growing up, I never wanted to be working for 9 to 5 forever. Even though I worked 9 to 5s before, I always wanted to be my own boss. I never liked to be the guy had to only take 30 minutes for a lunch break and I have to be here at this time. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to kind of be my own boss and move how it was comfortable for me. So it just happens naturally,
Yeah.
Naturally.
I read that and no, I heard this from the same guy that I was telling you about, Naval Ravikant. So he said before the slavery used to be like buying people and making them work for you for like nothing. And 9 to 5 is the modern sort of slavery that they have invented. So like society is kind of divided into these sects. The ruler is going to be on the top, then there are going to be people working for them, and then there are slaves. I'm like, dude, yeah, this makes so much sense,
Dude, because and that's how it is. So you couldn't physically control people no more.
Yeah.
You can mentally enslave folks, and that's what's become. So you have your 1 or 2% that's at the top, and for some reason they're able to control everything that's going on. And beyond the Black community, us as a whole, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why are we still allowing 1% to control everything, So now it's becoming like you got yourself over there doing it, and I'm sure you got others in other countries doing what you're doing. We're now getting to the point in the universe where we're coming together, and now we're changing the thinking. So like, who would have thought me and you would be, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but now that's happening. We're be able to change the thinking of so many now, you know what I'm saying, and kind of change that whole thinking of slavery on the mental level, because we all been lied to and we all been kind of enslaved to a degree. So it's time to kind of break that and create something different than what's been going on, because what's been going on hasn't been healthy for us, obviously.
Yeah. So what was your childhood like, bro? What did you used to do back then?
Basketball, man. Childhood was, I used to have hoop dream. I used to think I was going to make it, but
didn't happen. This was the same like for me. For me, it was music. I used to like listen to Eminem, 50 Cent back then, and I'm like, dude, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And life happened, and I'm like, no, maybe this is not for me.
Right. No, childhood for me, again, childhood for me was good though. It was just my mom and me and my brother, and I grew up, played basketball. And my brother was the hip hop artist. That's what got us outside. We always been in music because I played instruments, but my brother is the hip hop artist. That's the one who have the talent, right? So when he got a little older, me and my mom said, "Oh, let's build something around this guy because he really is talented, right?" And you could Google him now; he's known. But at the time, we thought, let's protect him in this music industry, because the music industry is kind of, in a lot of ways, can be satanic, right? So we wanted to create something to protect artists from, the wickedness of music industry. And he was the first one that kind of got us into that. But that's what childhood was, man. Music, sports, man. We was, my mom did a good job of keeping us, we was children. We got to enjoy life a little, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have to grow up too fast, even though I seen things as a child. But overall, man, I think she did a good job of keeping us occupied and keeping us busy in sports and books and music. So childhood was good. And that's why I'm who I am today, because of that.
So hip hop, you said your brother is a hip hop artist. So what is the trajectory and like a hip hop artist goes on? Like what's say like you record your music and now what are you gonna do next? How do you go about it if you don't want to? Like I've this great example of this guy Russ, if you might know him, Russ.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah. So how he started out was he used to produce music every week, put out new music every week, put out videos. He used to do that. Like he used to produce his own music, write his own music, mix it, master it, engineer it, put it out there. And he did this for like 1.5 years, and he had put this out. Ki, yeah, I'm going to win Grammy in like a couple of years, and that actually happened.
Yeah, no, I mean it happens. So like that is the trajectory, man. You want to just stay consistent.
Yes.
You know, man, consistent. Like, you know, I know far for him, you know, he's working on a new project and he's working on getting a lot of music videos out, visuals out. And but that's really, as for hip hop artists, I guess that's their goal. You know, just staying consistent, and because they have a love for it, they're gonna keep doing it. And the trajectory is kind of just getting the world to hear your talent. So that's what's next for him, man. Just working. He's working on the project now and working on different visuals so that.
What does he do exactly? He writes or does he produce?
He go in the studio. He just comes off the top and just raps. Right. So he go in the studio. He hears the music, and he lays it down and records it, and that's his process. And that's the trajectory, though, man. Just staying consistent, really.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that takes a lot in itself. Just trying to stay consistent. So staying consistent is, you know, the best thing for him.
That goes for anything, for that matter, for a business, for like studies. Also, for a student, it's very important to be consistent with the studies, and for anyone, for that matter, dude. Yeah,
you gotta be consistent for someone to take you serious. You know,
for sure. So. Yeah, this proves that this is not like just a random thing that you're trying to do in life. Yeah, it sort of proves that.
No? That's what it proves, man. If it's love there, or if it's just something you just want to do because you think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta stay consistent, man, and that's all it's about. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's kind of, you know, stay consistent in the moves I make. So that, you know, like I said, the goal is to impact as much people as I can. And the only way to do that is to be consistent in, you know, whatever my message I'm trying to get across.
Beautiful, bro. Like I'm like so inspired listening to you right now, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah.
And so like what does the future look like for Rap About TV? Tell me more about it. The early days of Rap About TV. How did you come up with the idea, and where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, so early, man, like I said, I was looking around and we just didn't have a platform in this DC area specifically. Mm-hmm. There wasn't enough platforms that was highlighting the talent that we had here. So I came up with the idea.
And the rap scene, you're saying, does it just cater to the rap audience?
No, so it don't, right? I mean, initially I got the idea from being in music because I seen so many artists that was actually good. I said, dang, I need to give them a platform. But it grew from there to I met other entrepreneurs that was big in their field. And you know, so I had so many different guests, man. I didn't have a magician come on there and do magic tricks, right? So it's just, you know, I realized though we didn't have enough platforms in the area to highlight the talent. So that's where the idea came from. And I had a host at the time because I like to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I had a host at the time, and then years go by, we was doing well. He eventually went off and did his thing, his individual thing. So I had to be the one to step in front of the camera and carry the load. But
do you like that? Do you like being in front of the camera?
At first I didn't. I still like to be behind the scenes, but I'll say, ever since I did get in front, man, so many people said, like you just said, man, I inspired them. And so it was also one of the things that I think God was forcing me to do, right? So I think that's what happened. And now, man, I'm just, I have to keep doing it because everyone's telling me to keep doing it because they're getting inspired listening to it and I'm helping people out with it, right? So now I almost feel like, dang, this was something I'm supposed to be doing. So now I'm just continuing to be consistent and build every year on that platform, right? So that's how it started, man. I just wanted to create an opportunity for, you know, a talent that I saw every day.
So, like, if a person wants to build something from the scratch, say, like, you did this for this guy who used to write poems. Like, if someone wants to build something from scratch, say, what was your first business? Was it real estate?
My first business was the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
The music.
Were you able to
industry.
monetize it?
Yeah. So, like I said, so my brother, he was, he had talent, right? He was a rapper. Everyone knew him at the school when he was coming up in high school. So again, me and my mom, we was like, all right, let's build a business around him, kind of protect, him in the industry. So we built the business around him. And man, he'd been on stage with 2 Chainz. I'm sure you heard it, probably 2 Chainz.
Of course, I have.
He's been on, so he's been on tour, and we've made money,
What's his name?
traveling, just music industry, right? We make money.
No, this guy, I'm sorry, your brother, what's his name?
Oh, Young Sir. His name is Young Sir.
Oh yeah, I read that in your bio as well.
Yeah, his name Young Sir, and that's where it started, right? So it started from there. And like I said, when you just start doing, other opportunities and things open up. So, we got him, and we're meeting different people. Like I said, 2 Chainz. You're meeting football players, NFL players, NBA players. You're meeting so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, different opportunities open up, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the first initial business. And then after that, I come up with Rap About TV. And then after Rap About TV, now I'm helping individuals that's looking for mentorship, right? So now that's another business opportunity, right? So now that helped me and my wife come up with Face the Agency. Now we're consulting with people and
Face the Agency is you and your wife. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it comes from the prior things that we was doing, right? Mm-hmm. So now, I'm doing Rap About TV. I'm able to mentor people. So now it's like, let's make that a business. Have clients and train, companies or entrepreneurs. And then from that, you get into real estate. You know what I'm saying? Because every day you're learning. I love to learn, right? So even now, like the big things that's going on in the U.S., I know is like stocks and trading and different things of that, Forex and NFTs. And you're learning so much different ways and different other opportunities to make money. Why not get involved, right?
Exactly.
So so like what's next for me is, like I said, is the audio book. Even though I was doing Rap About TV and the music, I realized I haven't done nothing for myself yet. And my wife told me I need to be more selfish and kind of focus on what I'm good at, right? Mm-hmm. And it just took me a long time to figure out what I was good at personally. And like you said, like how, and I'm thankful you said it, like I'm inspiring. Mm-hmm. So I've heard that enough times. I said, let me do a book or audio book. And the audio book is gonna be my first personal gift I'm giving to the world. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how people receive that. Yeah,
beautiful. So. All the best, man. All the best for that. Yeah. So thank you for this, bro. Is there something that you would like to ask me about?
Man, tell me more about, what is it like over there, man? Like, have you been to the US or like?
I have. Back in school, I used to play football, and also I went to Cleveland. So not like football, it's soccer, but
soccer, right.
Yeah. So I used to be the goalkeeper back then. So I've been to Cleveland, I've been to New York. So it was just a 13-day trip that I did back then.
So how did you start? Like, where did this passion come from? How did
music?
Podcasting. How did this start?
Podcasting happened because, bro, being a musician, what happened was as a music producer, as a DJ as well, I wasn't able to get gigs and all back in college. So I was thinking, why are these new guys getting these gigs and why am I not getting any gigs, bro? And I saw that they are very regular on social media. People know about them. So that's when it started. I need to create content and be present on social media. Otherwise, how would people know that what I do, right? So you got to go out there, tell them. And then eventually it became into a different scene altogether, like later. So I started this company by the name of Mix-a-Lot Academy, where I used to teach students about DJing, about music production and everything. And then I failed miserably in that business.
Really?
Lost a
You
tons of
don't,
money. Lost a
you
tons
don't
of
do that
money.
no more.
Huh?
You don't do that no more. You still
I do
teach.
that. I do that. I'm very selective about the students that I pick now. That's
Gotcha.
not my primary business anymore. So, like, yeah, back then I realized that I did not know anything about business, about being consistent, about that. So, I need to learn about this. So, I started
Yeah.
approaching people on LinkedIn. Hey, would you be able to like come
Yeah.
on the podcast and tell me about the stuff that you have learned in life? So, I'm like, yeah, bro, I need to be in touch with people who have done this already.
Yeah, definitely.
You
So,
know,
so
uh,
no, go ahead.
so yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Like, not everything should be hit and trial. People have done this already, so just go up to them and ask how they've done it.
Yeah.
And
So,
that,
so what is the competition like out there? Like, are you like one of the few that's out there doing a podcast and interviewing folks, or is there, is it a lot in your field? A lot of folks in your field doing the same thing, or what is the market like out there?
not many people are doing it. There are only few players who have like made it in the podcasting scene, and they have like big budgets and all, and they get like really popular people. But yeah, what I've seen is like even when I do the podcasting thing, it kind of inspire other people, because the guests that I've had on the show, they have started their own something with something of this sort only with their channel.
All
And
right.
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool that it made sense to them that yeah, they should also do it. So it kind of felt, yeah, it's right only, dude, I should just go
So
ahead
you,
with it.
so you're actually a trailblazer, huh? You're
Yeah.
one of the trail. No, that's good. That's what's up, man. That's what's
Mm.
up. Because now I really would love to visit your country now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, just to kind of understand the culture a lot more. So you know, so you're one of the trailblazers out there. So what's next for you? Like, what's next for you, and what are some of the things you're working on now?
I'm very superstitious in these things that if I'm going to say it, it's going to be jinxed. But yeah, I'll just tell you, bro.
Gotcha. That ain't mad at that. You one of those, you like to do it first and then
Talk
right.
about it, because yeah, I kind of lose the essence of it when I start speaking about it. But anyway, I'm just going to tell you, dude, you've spoken to me about a lot of stuff in life already.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm planning to build an agency, a digital agency, where like a full service agency where I'm going to have ads and digital marketing and
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
personal brands, for mostly personal brands, the people like motivational speakers and public speakers and
Right.
founders of the company who actually want to build their personal brand. So that's the main thing. And
Okay.
also, yeah,
Man, that's
yeah.
what's
So I'm
up, man.
planning to, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. So again, last question. What was your childhood like? So, I guess you was going back and forth. Like, what made you come in school over here? And, what are your thoughts on what's going on in the world? And lastly, man, what are your thoughts on America? I know you keep it honest with me. I know America is woo. So what are your thoughts on, what's going on here and everything?
People are good only, dude. People are people. Human beings are good, but then uh, the problem of any human being, like on the mass level, is what I've seen is the once you start identifying yourself with something, like could be anything. Once you start identifying yourself as a white person or a black person or like a big shot or a miserable person, that kind of becomes your identity, and you start suffering that because of that identity.
Right,
But
right, right.
it could be anything for that matter. Like if you are a white supremacist, you are going to yeah, you're going to impose your identity on other people. So yeah, that's what it is. Like the rich people are trying to
Yeah.
put their identity on other people. The people who are miserable, they are going to
Yeah.
show that they are miserable. And yeah,
So
it's kind
how do you think we overcome that? How do we overcome that, you think?
uh dude so yeah, so I've read a lot about Buddha, Gautama the Buddha, if you might know about him. Buddhism. Have you heard about the
Yeah, a
Buddhism
little
religion?
bit. I'll research them a little bit now. I'll write.
Yeah, so there was this person from India some 2500 years back. And what he said was the only misery the human being faces is the cravings, that when something good starts to happen to you, you start to crave and you want it more. And when
Right.
something bad happens to you, you don't want that to happen to you and you want to get away from it. So these are the
Right.
only two problems that you face: craving and aversion towards what's wrong. So if you're going to crave for more, because it is going to change just like anything else in life, and which actually got proven later. He said, like, on the cellular micro level, everything is vibrating and everything is changing, right?
Yeah.
And that happens all across the universe, that on the cellular level, everything is moving and everything is vibrating. So if
Yeah.
everything is changing, you can't identify yourself with this or with that. So if you want more of the good thing, that is not going to happen because it's going to change in some time. And if you want to get away from the bad, that is going to multiply because,
Yeah.
yeah, because you're trying to, get away from it. So it's going to multiply itself. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's, I
that
mean,
makes sense.
I'm also on the path. I haven't reached anywhere with this. Like, I am on the path. I have reached somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah, I'm
Right.
still on the path.
No, that's good, man. If you can on LinkedIn, send me a couple of folks I should kind of study, right? I would love to
Yeah,
kind of study some more, people you recommend. I've researched and studied them, so you can definitely, man, send me
for
some.
sure. Your wish is
some
my command,
study.
bro. I'll just send it to you on LinkedIn, all of these
Yeah,
guys. And yeah, for sure. I have, what I've seen is since childhood, I love reading. And
yeah,
most of the books that I've read are about this thing only: positivity, this building your stuff. I'm like, since childhood, I'm following the same pattern. And like, what?
yeah. Yeah. Nah, yeah. See, I read now. I've got to, I'm where now I should be reading more
Mhm.
but I'm always boom, boom, boom. So I do listen to like audio books and things of that nature though. But, things I read a lot. I do read positivity books, but I did read a lot growing up of like, growing up is kind of learning who you are. Like I said, I don't like to box myself in, but the reality of it is, growing up, we, especially as Black though, you don't really know who you are. You don't know who your ancestors are. You don't know who you're from. You don't know your original language. So a lot of that growing up, I was trying to read and to kind of understand who I was first. You know what I'm saying? So I do read a lot of books to kind of know the history, right? So we're not
Yeah.
doomed to repeat it. So I kind of like reading the books about our history and research. That's why I said send me some people. I like to
How's that
research.
experience of reading about history? Is it healing? Is it informative? What does that do to you
It's,
on a personal
it's,
level?
it's, it's informative, it's healing and informative. It's all the above, honestly, because, I always we feel like if you don't know where you was,
Mm-hmm.
then how do a person know where they are currently or where they're going headed to, right?
Yeah.
So I believe it's all the above because you have to know, where did you come from? Like you have to know, what's in your DNA, if you would. So that helps you understand to have vision, right? So
Hmm.
reading that type of things, even before slavery, that we was kings and queens and things of that nature, helps
Yeah.
us understand that we can overcome the suppression we're facing here now. So I
Yeah.
think it's all above.
This, dude, I would suggest you read this book, no? It's oh, wait. Oh, can you see that? Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Okay.
mirror image. You won't be able to see it properly. So it's called
Uh-huh.
*Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari. It tells us speak a lot about human history in general, since
Okay.
like 40,000 years back, 50,000 years back, when we were hunter gatherers.
Yep. I
Yeah,
wrote that down. I'll check it out. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
yeah. There should be an audiobook, but I would suggest, because an audiobook, I feel that the person put their own perspective. But yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be like one to one. If you're going to read the book, it'll be really good, because it's an it's an easy read. You'll be able to complete it in 4 or 5 days if you kind of
Okay.
like, if you kind of like
You
reading.
know, yeah, I definitely, I wrote it down. I definitely check that out. Like I love research. To me, I just love to learn more research. It's almost like a TV series to me. It's like, all right, what's the next episode like? You know, what's going to happen next? So for me, that's how I look at information, man. Like, what else can I learn? Like, what else? It's because there's more than this to life than what we know, right?
Yes.
And so for some reason, I've always been curious about, you know what I'm saying, what is more to this than what it seems. So
yeah.
that's
what that's what this book also speaks about, that before like 500 years back, religion used to say like we know everything. So if you had a question, say like where am I going in life, and you have some question, you used to go to priest to ask these questions. But when the science came in the scene, the Galileo and these telescopes and microscopes came, the science said we don't know anything about anything. So yeah.
See, now what happened was, before the Galileo, science was always here, right? But they can't. The ones you named came along and kind of, and like you said, like an audiobook, they put their spin on it, right?
Yeah.
So science was here way before we was here. You know what I'm saying? Because science is the universe, right? The universe it spins on math and science, you know, mathematics and science. You know what I'm saying? The human body is science, right?
Yeah.
But they came along and put their own spin on it, stole some information and created a world they envisioned so they can have control that they got today. So, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, science, man, always been here, but science in the wrong hands is dangerous, you know. So that's how I look at it. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Beautiful talking to you, my friend.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for having me, man.
Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you for coming as a guest on my podcast.
Yeah, man. Let's stay in contact, man. So
yes, for sure.
Anytime you want me back, we can talk about anything. I'm here.
Yeah. Let's do this soon again.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, and also I'm just gonna send you all of the books that I actually personally can recommend. And you also share some information with me.
No? Yeah, I'll send you a book. I'll send you something. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, bro. See you.
Yeah.
Have a good day ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a blessed one.
Bye. See you.
Peace.